The story begins with Sue Storm sharing an exciting news with her husband Reed Richards that she's pregnant. While both are overjoyed, Reed can't help but worry about their unborn child and what superpowers it might inherit. As the world celebrates the 4th anniversary of the Fantastic Four, we're reminded of their origin story. 4 brave astronauts were exposed to cosmic radiation in space and gained extraordinary abilities upon returning to Earth. Reed Richards becomes elastic and stretchy, Ben Grimm transformed into a rock-like being with incredible strength, Sue Storm can turn invisible and create force fields, and Johnny Storm, Sue's brother, can burst into flames and fly. These heroes use their powers to save people from disasters and evil threats. They've become beloved worldwide, especially by children, as the go-to team when humanity needs saving. We're also introduced to Herbie, their helpful robot assistant who aids them in everything they do. News of Sue's pregnancy spreads globally, creating worldwide excitement. The team prepares their home for the baby while Reed conducts research and relieved to find that the baby appears normal with no visible superpowers. Meanwhile, they receive strange transmissions from space that they can't understand, so they record them on a CD for later analysis. Johnny arrives for a new suit design, but Reed is too busy to work on it right away. Reed successfully demonstrates his teleportation experiment using an egg as an example, while Johnny begins studying the recorded transmissions. Sue goes for another baby checkup to reassure Reed that everything is truly normal, and Ben walks the streets, interacting with people and bringing joy to children. One night, a strange being arrives, alarming the entire world. This Silver Surfer entity is Shallabal. She delivers a chilling announcement: Earth has little time left before Galactus, her master, will destroy and devour the planet. She advises humanity to spend their remaining time with loved ones and make the most of their final days. After her announcement, she quickly departs, but Johnny chases after her into outer space. He catches up with her, and she speaks to him in an alien language he doesn't understand before escaping. The team immediately researches and confirms that Shallabal's warning is real. Galactus has already destroyed many planets, leaving nothing behind. Johnny mentions that Shallabal spoke to him, but since he couldn't understand her, the team dismisses it. Johnny soon discovers that the recorded space transmissions are in the same language Shallabal used. Reed completes Johnny's new suit request, which amuses Johnny. The team announces to the world that they're departing for space to find a way to stop Galactus from destroying Earth. The world watches as the Fantastic Four prepare and launch into space. Once in outer space, they track Shallabal's trail and follow it, witnessing a planet being destroyed by Galactus before it suddenly vanishes. As they approach for investigation, their spaceship gets caught in a gravitational pull. The ship is scanned, with particular focus on Sue's belly. Shallabal appears and tells them Galactus wants to speak with them, warning that they shouldn't have come and will now regret their decision. Shallabal escorts them to Galactus, and during the journey, Johnny asks her about her earlier words. She explains it was a blessing that means die with yours, may you be together with your loved ones until death. Moments after, they encounter Galactus, a massive giant who has lived for millions of years. His condition is simple: he won't destroy Earth if they give him the baby. Galactus sees the child as a potential heir and successor, possessing similar powers to his own. Reed immediately objects, but Galactus threatens that if they refuse, he'll destroy their planet, and the child will witness it when he takes them. Galactus stares at Sue's belly, causing her to weaken and experience pain as he begins to exert control. Alarmed, Johnny fights back against Galactus, unleashing torrents of flames as the others quickly retreats back to the spaceship. Shallabal tries to stop them as they escape, but Sue uses her power and throws her down. The team manage to enter their spaceship and leave. Sue is in severe distress, appearing ready to give birth. They barely escape as Shallabal pursues them at incredible speed. Despite Johnny's attacks having no effect on her, Reed devises a plan. He navigates them to a black hole, where Sue makes their spaceship invisible despite her condition. They successfully trick Shallabal, who gets consumed by the black hole. Now they need to change their trajectory back to Earth. As Ben and Johnny struggle with piloting, Sue goes into labor just as they're arriving Earth. Perfectly timed with their arrival, the baby is born. They name him Franklin. Their spaceship lands on Earth to crowds of people worldwide eagerly awaiting news. They emerge carrying their newborn, and the crowd celebrates, wanting to know if they've defeated Galactus. When questioned by the media, the team hesitates before telling the truth that they spoke with Galactus, who offered to spare Earth in exchange for the baby, an offer they obviously refused. The crowd becomes chaotic, immediately thinking about their own safety. When asked again if Earth is safe, Reed admits he doesn't know, and they leave. The team discusses their next steps, but Reed hasn't figured out a solution since their enemy is faster and stronger. They need to gather more information about Galactus and understand what makes the baby special to him. Johnny finds a way to decrypt and translate the alien language from the recorded transmissions using Shallabal's translation from their conversation, hoping to learn more about Galactus. Meanwhile, Reed continues scanning the baby but finds nothing unusual. Galactus's spaceship is detected on radar, approaching Earth. People panic, with some arguing they should just give up the baby to save the world. The entire world becomes anxious, and protesters gather outside the team's home. The team discusses the situation, and Sue declares that no matter what happens, she won't surrender Franklin. She addresses the people and the world, saying they're all family and shouldn't abandon each other. She won't give up the baby for the world, nor sacrifice the world for the baby. They'll fight together and defeat Galactus. The people are reassured and support Sue's decision. Reed devises a plan similar to his teleportation experiment. They need to build large teleportation bridges around different parts of the world. By connecting all of them, they can teleport Earth to another habitable zone in space where Galactus won't find it. Everyone works together to build these bridges worldwide as quickly as possible. While the construction races against time, Johnny continues to study information about Galactus and finally makes a breakthrough that could change everything. Simultaneously, across the globe, the final teleportation bridge is completed. All the bridges are now successfully constructed and ready for activation. With Galactus approaching, it's time to activate the plan. They simultaneously power up all bridges, and a massive energy field begins to surround the entire planet. But suddenly, someone interferes with their plan, destroying the bridges one by one, ruining all their hard work. Johnny immediately heads out and confronts the saboteur, and finds out that it's Shallabal. She then pursues Johnny, but Johnny stops and plays the recorded transmissions he studied. Shallabal freezes as she recognizes the voices of inhabitants from a planet who begged her before their world was destroyed. Johnny reveals that Shallabal was once a normal person on a planet with children and family. But one day Galactus arrived and took her as a servant to spare her planet. Now she's become Galactus's instrument for destroying planets like Earth. She suddenly remembers her family and feels guilty about Johnny's words, stopping her fight. She says there's nothing she can do since Galactus must still be obeyed, and she leaves. With most bridges destroyed, they need a new plan. Reed realizes that if they use all their power and focus it on one transportation bridge, they'll have enough time to open a portal and trap Galactus inside it. They need to lure Galactus to Earth, separate him from his planet ship, and push him through the portal where he'll be powerless. But they have no other bait for Galactus except the baby. Despite objections, they have no other choice but to use Franklin as bait. They quickly execute their plan, using Franklin as bait at the bridge while evacuating all people to subterranean bunkers. Galactus arrives on Earth, so massive that buildings look tiny in front of him. He immediately searches for the baby. When he approaches, the team attempt to ambush him, switching the baby with a decoy crib. They're just one step away from success when Galactus stops and realizes the baby isn't there. He searches again and heads to their home. The team springs into action to stop Galactus with their special superpowers. Ben uses his incredible strength and throws trucks at him while Johnny unleashes torrents of flames. When Ben tries to hit Galactus again with another truck, Galactus catches him and throws him. Sue on the other hand uses her force fields and invincibility, but Galactus catches her and drops the car she's riding. Reed uses his elasticity to pursue Galactus and grabs a metal object and stabs him, but Galactus grabs him and stretched his body excessively that he screams in pain. Ben and Johnny then arrive in flight and bump Galactus, freeing Reed from his grasp. However, they hit the ground hard, and Galactus still stands, captures the baby, and starts to leave. In the final moment, Sue pours all her strength into stopping Galactus from taking her child. The effort is so intense it might kill her, but she manages to push Galactus toward the bridge. The others help her. Johnny opens the portal, Ben pushes Galactus through, and Reed retrieves the baby. They successfully push Galactus into the portal, but Sue collapses and dies from the effort. Galactus attempts to return as the portal remains open briefly. Johnny prepares to sacrifice himself to push Galactus back, even if it means being lost in the void. As Johnny flies into Galactus, Shallabal suddenly appears, pushing Johnny aside and sacrificing herself to push Galactus through the portal. Both Galactus and Shallabal disappear forever. The mission succeeds, but Sue has died. Reed tries desperately to revive her until they accept she's gone. The three become emotional, letting the baby touch his mother one last time. As Franklin touches his mother, something miraculous happens. He brings Sue back to life. They're amazed by the baby's incredible ability. Everyone celebrates the Fantastic Four's victory after. The team prepares for a show but suddenly receives an emergency call for duty. By the time they're supposed to be revealed on the stage, they're already gone. They're on another mission ready to rescue people, but they're still figuring out how to fit the baby crib in their vehicle, which makes Sue smile. Finally, they head out on their mission, and that's where the movie ends.